So this week's episode of Interviews with Monster Girls was a really interesting episode, as now we're focusing on the Succubus, this teacher Sato, who isolates herself from all male contact. That's why she dresses in a tracksuit. She doesn't want anyone to really get close to her, as she is a succubus. A single touch will send sexual pleasure down the individual and make them melt. She can't even fall asleep around people, as then she'll influence their dreams. Like, everything about her, she literally has to limit herself in every possible way. Catch the earliest train and catch the latest train, so she has as little contact as possible, which does screw up her sleep schedule. She literally has to tiptoe around everyone, get there before everyone else does, and in doing so is pretty much a lonely person. She has to be by herself, but she is trying to have a normal life. That's why she is a teacher, but at the core, you can tell how sad and depressed this girl truly is. I mean, literally not being able to have any contact with the opposite sex that you are attracted to, like, seriously, like, that would suck totally, just completely in every level, and you really get the sense of just, you feel bad for her throughout this episode. But the best part is when she bumps into Tetsu, the main sensei here, the teacher who is helping all these individual girls, and he doesn't react whatsoever, and I was thinking, okay, I mean, that makes sense for his character. I mean, he hasn't really shown any, like, sexual desires for women. He's kind of been that cool, calm, and collected guy. So I was like, yeah, that actually makes total sense that he's not going to see it. And that makes her super happy. Like, she says it like, I can't believe someone not reacting in a sexual way is the best thing to me. And that's pretty much the moment she falls in love with him. But as soon as he turns that corner, he lets loose. His legs are wobbling. Like, literally, he had the biggest wave of pleasure he probably has had in such a long time. And he's just saying, like, thank God I could keep a cool head, because holy hell, one touch did that to me. And I just love that. Like, I love that scene. I was just like, oh God, like, seriously, they completely threw me for a loop, because he really, like, it would have made sense if he didn't react in any way, because he has seemed to be this guy who is just like, I'm a good person, I'm just about helping people, but no, even he can't resist the succubus's charm. Like, I love that scene so much, and honestly, like, this is building up to a harem. Like, obviously it's building up to that harem, but it's doing it in a very innocent way in a lot of ways. Like, even Hikari with her whole kiss thing, like, is sucking blood a sexual thing? Like, is it more than a kiss? Is it less than sex? Like, how is sucking blood? She's like, well, you know, it's kind of different per person. I don't really want to talk about this. Oh, I'll give you a kiss on the cheek. Which, yeah, she shouldn't do that to a teacher, and a teacher shouldn't allow it because teacher and student relationship, but there is this innocence to it, at least from his side, where he's not going after these girls for that reason. He is doing it as a, like, a mentor kind of a thing. But if there was any relationship that I could see happening in this show, it would definitely be between the two teachers. I think that'd be an interesting relationship, the succubus and him. Like, I could just imagine, like, he would be, like, in a romantic relationship with her, and then he would still be studying her, like, okay, so how do you feel about this? And then she would just have to hit him or something. Like, there'd be so many ways that they could take that with comedy. If they even go that route, like, who knows if even in the source material he actually ends up with anyone. But I assume, if anyone, it would be her. But I really do like how innocent it does feel. There is, obviously, each of the girls have their own feelings for him, but really the only one I think it would ever go with, just between being normal, but also who he would want, would be the succubus teacher herself. I don't see anything else between that, but I really did like the episode overall with how they're portraying the succubus, and I just really enjoy how each of the characters, we get a sense of how they fit in with this world and how they have to interact. The most normal so far would be Hikari. I mean, of course, sure, she's bad with sunlight, she gets super hot and sweaty from pretty much any sort of normal contact with the outside world, but she has it the easiest so far based on everyone. I mean, we have a Dualhan who literally just feels so out of place because no one will just, or they'll just kind of tiptoe around the fact that she doesn't have a head on her shoulders, like things like that. The succubus literally has to destroy her life so she doesn't destroy others, kind of a thing. But I mean, next week we're going to be focusing on the ice girl, who pretty much is making the females think that she's just a stuck-up, like, snob, that she thinks she's an idol, but really she obviously has her own issues that she's working with. And I am enjoying watching each of the characters and seeing how they interact with the human world and what struggles they face. I think it's a really solid selling point for the series, and it's making it very fascinating learning about the individual species and how they interact with this world. I really enjoyed this episode from start to finish. I loved watching the succubus for once, finally seeing what her deal was, and I really can't wait to see what next week's brings and what issues this girl is facing and why she is having such a hard time interacting with people. Maybe she can't control her ice, maybe if she gets too close to people, she freezes them, it could hurt them, maybe it's going to be something like that. But overall, it was a really solid episode, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I think, you know, after this episode, a lot of people might be putting the succubus as their favorite character right now. Hikari's still my favorite character. She's still best facial expressions in this series, but the Succubus is definitely a close second. So for anyone who watched the episode, what do you think? How are you feeling about the direction this is taking? And what are your thoughts for next week? Where do you see next week's going? So let me know your thoughts, and as always, hit that like button if you did enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.